Hello, greetings. Thank you for joining us for this broadcast brought to you by Fifth Dimension. Alright, here we are again. Apparently YouTube's working for right now. And I titled this, Preacher Needs an Airplane, whatever. It needs a jet. Needs another planet to live on. So this is Illuminati Disclosure, Mission Impossible, and James Bond. So I'm not going to go, obviously, into, I don't know a whole lot about the movies that deeply, but I'm going to go connect to the energies of it and go by that. To give you some housekeeping a little bit. Yeah, I'm like behind I'm behind. Let's see, those with new hosts, liveandtour.com. We have private sessions throughout the week. This is our calendar. We have what is Zoom? We're on channel. We have Google Hangouts channel. This phone, Zoom, Hangouts is going to go away eventually, and I'm working on another solution for it. And questions here. I'm still on Saturday, and same situation here. So I'm on June 8th still. I have other channels and healers I do recommend. We have this social network and absolute awesomeness. Okay. So if you're a preacher and need a plane, this is where you go. And remember, they said that these are the tube of demons, basically, from what Copeland said. So apparently, just yesterday, they came up with a fraud about the televangelists who are using money from the churches to buy their planes and stuff like that. Pat Robinson too, huh? And this just came out yesterday. Yeah. All right, stick it to them, huh? So as you can see, Copeland looks kind of like a demon-like energy, especially when you look in the video. So we can learn a lot from demons, basically. He has a lot of reptilian energies, and this is what happens when you give away your power, and that's kind of the idea, to shut us down in third dimension, so you can all give all these guys a big hug. But all this stuff's going to go away down the line, meaning that we don't need it anymore. Basically, we're going to slowly let go. I mean, they're already letting go of religions already. That will happen more on a massive scale when more people connect to their own abilities. So, get your, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up Copeland. They have a thing about him and his, talking about commercial air flight that basically are flying in a tube of demons, basically. So, if you're interested, I was going to title the whole video about this, but I don't want to waste my time on these guys. Today's subject is mostly about Mission Impossible, all the Illuminati symbolism that goes in between Mission Impossible, James Bond, and the Ryan movies. There's layers of it. I'm gonna mostly, I saw this on, this is on free on Prime, so. I'm not sure if this is from 1996, I think. Yeah. So the movie doesn't really make a hell of a whole lot of sense. It's kind of a strange put together, and it's still going on today. But it has a lot of Illuminati symbolism all through it. And they hide it through technologies to take over the world, whatever it might be. Don't think some of these events are not happening to some shape or form. Some of it's happening in the fourth dimension. It's going to be kind of difficult to fully connect to the whole energy field of it. We're going to see what we can do. James Bond is kind of like a superhuman type of thing. You can say technically this is kind of too. But this is more like a genetically modified male, basically. What the hell is he doing there? So it's more like a super soldier. Which makes a lot of sense when you think about it. So is there super soldiers in the CIA and all that? I would imagine so. Jack Ryan, this is Tom Clancy's stuff. This is basically CIA propaganda, making CIA look like the good guy when they do a lot of bad shit. They do so much bad shit. So it's kind of cute. Well, not in a good way. You know, of course, we're all falling for it, and makes a great movie, right? I think Patriot Games is probably the better one of them all. It kind of died down ever since then, but it's all propaganda. It also shows you who's running Hollywood, basically. Yeah, when they make these movies, it's not like they don't care. They make it. It's a big deal. So, like James Bond, I feel super soldier energies. I feel, you know, out of all, I mean, yeah, you have the James Bond villains and all that, but super soldier. Then you got, I believe they put a lot of stuff in Mission Impossible, actually. From messages about, you know, their plots of taking over the world, things like that, the syndicate, and whatever kind of nonsense they come up with. It's showing between, like, basically the battle of Illuminati, you can say, definitely, between different Illuminati sides, if you want to call them positive or dark or whatever you want to call them. It's just two different sides trying to do two different things. So they're kind of, not to say the scenarios are exact, but, you know, the first episode of the first one was about CIA breaking into that. So it just shows that CIA is pretty much running propaganda machine, Mission Impossible. So eventually we'll all make all of this. I mean, it makes sense when you pilot. So yeah, basically, I mean, this is nothing new. Of CIA running everything. Pretty much. Might as well call it, take Google down, just call it CIA Google. Or, I don't think that would sound right. Okay, never mind. Google. Anyway. Yeah, seriously. Disney too. So they slowly take over this stuff, obviously. But Mission Impossible, boy, they had a hand in it. They had a hand in all this. They might not have it publicly, but shadow-wise, it's there. They can also channel messages into the people like they do with Simpsons. You know, they might not be, yeah, most likely they're not there physically. Some areas, yes, some areas, no. But they are on a psychic level that obviously us minions, or most minions, will not understand. But when you have Simpsons doing all the future prediction, because they got to put this stuff out there. Like they're going to make Trump president, so they put that out there as a possibility. I don't think there's 100% on a lot of stuff, but they got to put stuff out there, and it comes in true or not is up to the human collective. So I also realized I have a Illuminati spirit guide I've been connected to recently that came through yesterday. So we're going to connect to a couple of energies. We'll do what we can. We're up since 5 a.m. We got some rest, sort of. It's been an odd day, let's put it that way. It hasn't been an easy day. I'm still kind of wrong with the punches. Kind of weird. Oh well. Yeah, work situation. Oh well, no big deal. All right. Well, message from Spirit. They're gonna keep it easy on me right now. Yeah, it's just follow your highest passion, of course. Illuminati energies, yes, illuminate in all different areas. It's basically for you to absorb what to accept and deny. You can, realize when you deny pop culture, deny all this manipulation of reality, it's kind of hard to function in reality, technically. Unless you're in a metaphysical type of environment, or you have your own little clique, whatever it might be, it doesn't have to be metaphysical. It makes it a lot easier. If you're not part of the mainstream, you're screwed, basically. Even if you need something, like for a car, or for where you live, or whatever it might be. So it's, Illuminati is everywhere. Their influence is everywhere. And I get picked up on, now I'm feeling kind of weird. Portland is a heavy area for Illuminati energies. A lot of them, yes, are underground, but they work underground, but their living is usually above ground in certain parts of your planet. Alien energy. Well, basically, yes. One moment. Mission Possible energies, yes, that is mostly, there is actually those figures in there, the characters are real, based on real people. They're not going into full details of what those real people are connected to exactly, but shadow government people, basically. More like a generic version of it, but it kind of gives you, one person is usually 2 or 3 other people, so it's based on several people. But it kind of gives you an idea of backstabbing within the elites. Obviously, they're not making it that clear because it's coded. It is all cryptic at the moment. Those scenarios in those films aren't necessarily correct. But the scenario of situations, meaning that the dire, take over the world stuff, is actually very real. It's mostly done in the fourth dimension, not necessarily in our reality. So, but it doesn't mean it doesn't have any relevance here. Because, situations can happen that happens all the time. Happen in fourth dimension affect us all the time. I mean, you go destroy the planet in fourth dimension, basically. Destroy our world from the fourth dimension by manipulating it, whatever it might be, and they've come close. Atomic bomb might be giving you kind of a hint of that. So, and so forth. How you look, how you dress, all this stuff is all manipulations from another reality. Manipulative realities, of course. So Illuminati mostly, their energies are mostly in the fourth dimension. I think people already know that. And it's on a massive scale. Meaning it's like, yeah, people wonder why you can't find these people and all that. They're not going to make it. We're the worker bees. We don't mean anything. Well, they are allowing themselves to become. Some of the positive Illuminati do want to be found. The negative ones have to put their information out there. Always put in scenario. They're not going to give me full details for obvious reasons. They do want to, yes, cause just terrorism energies across the world. Yes, to get more control. Obviously, and it's just at a massive scale that's unflattering, unfortunately. They do create gangs and all that in the fourth dimension, manipulate from the fourth dimension to the third dimension, get you to think a certain way, and that's where that AI computer box, mother desk comes from too. That's involved with it. There's just, it sounds like science fiction, but if you're in a different reality, obviously it's normal. We are slowly heading into that direction. And all these movies that are government based are going to be decrypted, decoded over time. Yeah, it's just, I guess Mission Impossible is kind of like your spy Jesus. I guess that makes sense because he never dies. It's like, fucking guy just gets a knife put in his eye and he's alright, so that's like the, whatever you call it. Yeah, it's Jesus, basically. CIA agent, Jesus, whatever it might be. They put it as entertainment. Well, I mean, there is positive energies within this stuff, too. It's not all negative propaganda. There's always going to be a mix of everything. It's just the way, it's the way we it's the way we put our planet together. It's the only way we can function, obviously. So they are, with these, James Bond, all these spy thrillers, they are kind of hinting at what they're doing, disguised as fiction. Now, even the novels probably have more detail than that, because who the hell's going to read all that? And if you read it, is it going to really soak in? It's like, hey, wait a minute. That's a little bit strange. So, I don't see a whole lot of prediction work doing on any of these, but I believe it's like current events, things like that. They're just, it's just like the Illuminati is letting out steam, letting out energies, but it is woven around all of this stuff, basically to put a blindfold over humanity's thinking process. So like when more people go more four-dimensional thinking, you look at this stuff that we've been, even McDonald's, you're going to see the inner workings of it. Like Mission Impossible, if you see like Vatican manipulation there, don't be surprised. It can get kind of gross when you think about it. Yeah, it's just to keep you entertained, but also keeps a religion. Yeah, religious energies are mixed into it. Doesn't mean it has to have religion in it, but to keep you under control. So you have Hollywood religion. I'll just use the Vatican as an example of modern day religion, though. It's here basically, obviously, to seduce humanity. Yeah, no surprise, right? As you open up, the ingredients are not going to work anymore. Many people are going to start rejecting this stuff more and more and more. So these crappy movies that are sending out, these crappy movies have it's all cryptic. So it's crap for a reason, but they make a lot of money. Is there even like a Gods movie or War of Gods or something? I forgot what it was called. God of War or whatever the hell it was. It was done recently. I forget the name. It doesn't matter. It was like a Greek movie. Modern. It was recent. It wasn't modernized, but it was done recently, and it failed the box office. Kind of show you who's controlling the planet. Sort of. I don't know if it matters. Either way. It's like, the god over our society and told us what to do, and they had a lot of magic within it. I can't think of any of the actors. It just came to mind. It doesn't matter. But it's just, why would they make a Greek movie right now? And it's just showing like who's controlling the system. It's just, they want a lot of, even the dark ones kind of, it's all a test to see what they can. They actually want people to pick up on this, but obviously they most likely won't. Because they're curious to see where you would go with it. Some do. Some just want to stay as a prisoner and just shut up. That's probably the majority. But the test is like, they give you power, and then do you get it? Do you abuse it? Do you open yourself up? You open up to your psychic abilities. They're going to use it for good, they're going to use it for evil, whatever, So they're kind of curious because they know that inevitable this Earth is going to shift into a higher dimension. At least some are going to allow it to happen. Maybe not everybody, but there are a handful that are going to make it happen. And it's going to be part of culture. So you can say technically preparing it, the world's not ready for it yet, but they are. Yeah, it's basically, when you start decoding these movies and books and whatever CIA propaganda that's out there, it's kind of like going through their underwear drawer. That's what I'm getting. You're seeing where they've been, and it's all dirty. So, I hate to use that analogy, but, that's what I'm getting. It just is seeing how they're putting everything. Even the history books obviously been tainted with lies for the most part to build this current reality. It can only last so basically more people are going to trust themselves and connect to any timeline that works for you. Who cares what everyone else thinks? Let your timeline speak to you. Are the history books manipulated? Okay, I'll use my timeline. Oh yeah, no doubt. A lot of those that have been, like Roosevelt, have been seen a positive. Yeah, might not be looking at positive in the future. Bill Cosby, you'd be surprised. Even like Bill Cosby, you might see the manipulations that are going on too. But you'll see more of the fourth dimension manipulations around somebody like Bill Cosby. Not to say he's a saint, far from it, but to see what's going on. So, at least your point of view of it. It's always going to be, everyone's going to have their point of view. Just the way it is. As we become, I don't know, I'm getting this message, magic assassins. It's like, when we upgrade ourselves, it's going to be a lot of magic and a lot of wrongdoing. I know people talk about the ascension, how great it's going to be. That's fine, but there are going to be many that will once again abuse their abilities, just the way it is. So you might want to look at the ascension a little bit differently. It's like, be aware of what can go wrong. Not to say, we got a while for it. But they're doing a hell of a job here creating Paradise Island for us all. So, I mean, it's okay. I mean, if you enjoy Get Up and doing the same thing over and over again, more power to it. Not everybody's here for that. So, I mean, if you're enjoying what you're doing every day, that's great, but the vast majority aren't on that ship. Basically, we're healing basically, as timelines currently are shifting in a gradual pace. You'll know more about yourself, just follow your instincts. And in the long run, you'll have truth everywhere. Follow your instincts. There are going to be deceptive energies that tell you that you're wrong. Follow your instincts. Go by what you feel. Those that are controlled over government, religion, or religion government, government religion, has been done throughout Roman times once again. Roman times, there are a lot of Atlanteans, there are a lot of people during that time that are actually very powerful still. And they shut them out and erased them from their history books. But they were there. And still are here. David Blaine is an example of that. It's a magician. And there are slight, because, yes, Rome had an issue with a lot of magicians during their time. So, that's not in the book. Well, technically it is in the Bible, or religions, but it's all coded. So it is technically there, and, it's just all been hidden. As like all this metaphysics stuff. You talk about this, you look like a crazy person, right? Well, a lot of people that are connected to this, obviously, were not always the nicest people. Some were, a lot of them weren't. A lot of them are controlling, like Julius Caesar and things like that. Mind controlling them on different levels. So the elites are a little bit. I know some people don't agree with us. Some of the elites are a little bit afraid of us, because we do get our power back. We're going to cause chaos. They're trying to avoid that. Not to say all of them are, but some of them are. So they keep us dumb and stupid. But it's also a test for us to humble ourselves and improve, and they're testing us so when we reconnect to our power, we can use it in a positive sense. That's why things are taking so long for the ascension. It's just like watching paint dry, basically, or watching grass grow. Yeah, it's just like, and there's many here obviously that can use it properly, but there's majority that most likely won't. So a lot of them are going to stay shut down because they themselves know when they activate themselves, they're going to abuse it like son of a bitch. So reading minds, turn into a phoenix and wipe people out. You never know. You never know. It's like anything's possible. So yeah, humanity is technically kept in a cage. Yeah, DNA-wise, it can be easily reactivated by the Anunnaki. Now it's slowly happening. So when those are opening up, their blockages are being assisted by Anunnaki beings and others, but Anunnaki is playing a role. Meaning DNA is being constantly monitored on how you're acting, your tests in your life. A lot of Anunnaki are monitoring your life, how you operate your life. I know it sounds strange. I know it sounds really weird. The spirit world is too, but there are Anunnaki alien beings. There are others, but I believe the Anunnaki is playing a big role. It's like this one's using their, abilities decently, what they have. We can open them up a little bit DNA-wise to open up their frequency. So it does feel. No, I know this all sounds crazy, but they also do talk to the Pleiadians and Arcturians. Hey, we're going to turn this one up a little bit more. The aliens are all kind of talking together. You're even talking about, hey, see Maggie, can you give her a little bit more juice to open up her abilities? I know this all sounds like it's fucking out there, but when you think about it, what are these aliens doing around anyway? Just standing around looking at us all day? No, they're doing stuff. I mean, they are working with our guides, because our guides can reject an infusion. Our guides can interfere if it's not for our highest good. Of course, other guides are like, hell, I don't give a shit, do whatever you want. I'm watching cable. So, it's a little bit of So it kind of gives you an idea of the alien energies. Yes, it's not just Anunnaki. Obviously, there are many other beings, but you can say, what I'm getting, a lot of Anunnaki are playing a big role in our activation. I mean, even in history, many people, suggest they shut us off. They can turn us back on. So it's kind of like a person by the nuclear key. They can turn and wipe the whole world out, something like that. But okay, it's not exactly like that. But it is. They're there to help activate us, along with other beings, because they can. It's just. They see all the attacks we go through, manipulations. They see it all. And sometimes they can interfere, sometimes they can't. It's your test. So they have to be careful because they don't get pulled into it also. As for Mission Impossible, let's see if we can get a different point of view. 3 Anunnaki. Yeah, it's Illuminati playing games on people's minds, using entertainment, but there is actually more dire situations going on that would scare the hell out of humanity. Now, there's also scenarios they'd like to happen. Some of them are trying to make those events happen, like blowing the world up, different scenarios. So that's why predictive programming. A lot of that's been stopped, obviously. But those beings have stopped to say, hey, maybe that'll happen in the future someday. And that's mostly in Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible is just kind of like a big big movie, but still low key in a lot of ways. And James Bond is more showing the secret space program tech, because he's like a gadget being. Of course, in Mission Impossible 2, and Mission Impossible is the same thing, but in a different way. So it's just all these movies are basically speaking to us in a different language. It's up to you how you read it. And, it's not always going to be clear right now because they don't want it to be clear, but over time everything's going to be decoded. People are going to go through all the movies and look at every detail and use their psychic sense and realize what's going on. You can say, like, Mission Impossible is a lot of Zeta tech, and James Bond's more reptilian. It's a little bit of a mix of everybody, but it's a little bit more popular in James than Mission Impossible, but either way. Yeah, Mission Impossible just has a different energy about it. It just has a different, more low-key. Yeah, it's a big blockbuster, but still low-key. James Bond's all flashy, all a fantasy. It's more a secret space program of, technology, tech. It has sort of scenarios that they want to do here, but not necessarily. It's kind of countering other energies that are out there. I mean, there's a lot of conversations going out there that they're trying to bring balance to. They're not making it very clear, but there's only so much energy I have at this time either also. So basically, the soul here, is here to advance itself in a psychic way. Now, you can do it in an emotional way, you can do it in a hate way, you can do it in a childish way, to mature yourself. There's all different ways there's more, obviously. And basically, we are here to break timelines, remove guides too. So you can connect easier to the fourth dimension. So you are scratching the surface of knowing your society even more clearly. Now, yes, it's going to be gradual, but over time you'll see friends and family a little bit different in tone and energy, so you can understand them more where they're coming from. Yes, they might have an aggravation from a parent, a lover, but you'll get an idea of where the origin of that aggravation is coming from. Is there another being controlling that person, like a parent? Is there another being controlling that parent that has it out for you, which is actually quite common? And also using technologies against you. Usually they use archon energies to sabotage technologies. Humanity is going into a new age, a space age. So it's time to get ready. So expect more outer space films and propaganda controlled by the government. But humanity is going to slowly remove the government element, so it's going to be a while for that. Is it babysitting? Government's babysitting? Not necessarily, because the consciousness put them in charge. As humanity goes through many rough tests and goes through hell, basically. Hell training. It's kind of like you're getting ready for war. Yeah, you're going through boot camp to connect to the universe. So you master this world, you become, over time, advanced to assist the universe and other planets. So there's many lessons, reasons why we go through this hell. It's like, like you go to it, like you die, go into another incarnation, and then they look at your incarnations like, oh, you worked at the dollar store and you just cried all day. Well, you're not going to be much help for us on this planet. Or if they're like, hey, look, you worked at the dollar store, and yeah, actually, you did the best you could through all the situations. You survived. You dealt with the plague, whatever it might be. You helped your family. You're very selfless. So that's saying something. Now you can move up the ranks on another planet and do whatever you want. It's just different ways of looking at it. Obviously, what matters now is now. Not to think that's not important. What matters is now and with the life that you feel is right for you. If you want to be lazy, go be lazy. If you want to be productive, be productive. Some are having blockages, energies right now, because a lot of times the blockage is to keep you in a space where you need to be right now. Eventually, you'll be unlocked from that, but a lot of times just waiting for an opportunity, waiting for a direction to go. There's just waiting. Everyone's different. Message from the Pleiadian energies, basically. Yeah, self-forgiveness is very large, of course. Martian energies are basically... Martians are known to turn souls against each other. They like war. At least on your planet, they enjoy it. Football is war. Sports is war. Martians are involved with that because this world had a difficulty. It took, all his DNA and doesn't know what the hell to do with it. It's like an little girl on crack that can fly, shoot laser beams out of her eyes, but can't freaking chill out when she breaks a nail. It's just, stuff like that. It's just, either way. The Martians aren't very... Because humans here the male has so much more female than the Martians do. They kind of look at us all a bunch of girls, technically. That's a weird way of looking at it, but it makes a lot of sense because they're not used to that. So they like to be like the Henry VIII is like a Martian energy. Fat, ugly, disgusting, and has all his skinny girlfriends. Yeah, that's very Martian. There's other worlds like that too, but for that's a Martian energy. To give you an idea of that. And Martians like to be fat too, because it shows power. So it's just that you're doing good, and so you can be fat and disgusting, and nobody can do anything about it. Oh yeah, there's another one of these bloggers that goes to Disney all the time. He's like an older guy. He's married to a younger soul. It's like a dad married to his daughter, but it's actually an old soul married to a younger soul. And the old soul has been through... I'm not gonna put the name out there. I'm just getting messages. So these people go to Disney all the time, and they make videos of it. It's out in California. What I got? Just a message out of nowhere. Just this person used to be at Holocaust and World War II. So he incarnated to just find happiness. Have fun. Can I keep having fun? Can I take fun and take it to a whole new level? Because obviously I had incarnations, not just that one, but others that are just crap. So soul growth is finding fun and sharing that fun with others was the key. It's like you can have personal fun, you can go on vacation, stuff like that. The idea was to share it with others through a vlog. You get bored with it or not, it does. A lot of kids like that stuff. It's entertainment, it's positive, and it's like, because you could have just did that for himself, his wife, and everything would be fine. But he wants to share it So the sharing it helps other people get through their lives, get through their ordeals. So it's a win. You can say a win-win on both sides. So it's a different way of looking at things. So some people are, okay, I just want to have fun every day. I want to keep top, or on the weekends, whatever. I want to top having fun all the time, and that because come from this harsh environment in the past, and it makes perfect sense when you think about it. So I'm gonna put that out there. It's probably other stuff I could have connected to, but energies are like, bleh. So this is the best we got. So. Alright, that's all we got. It's much love. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully I feel better. Thank you for your support. And there's a bug behind me somewhere. Alright, much love. Oh yeah, by the way, well, seeing all those preachers that were talking about, having jets and all that. One of them was talking, I was watching one of them, it was a cockroach just walking. It was a small one, obviously. You could see it kind of making its way down the stage. That was funny. Okay, see ya.